Hello learners, welcome back to your education channel Learn and Educate, and let us continue with the income tax law series under which section 2 clause 24 income. Definition of income. Income includes profits and gains from business or profession. Second, dividend received by any shareholder in respect of the shares purchased by that of a company. Third, voluntary contribution received by trust created wholly or partly for a charitable or religious purposes or by any institution established wholly or partly for such purposes. Fourth, income includes the value of any perquisites or profits in lieu of a salary taxable under clause 2 and clause 3 of section 17. Fifth, any special allowance or benefit other than perquisites included under subclause 3 specifically granted to the assessee to meet expenses wholly and necessarily and exclusively for the performance of the duties of an office or employment or of profit. Income includes any allowance granted to the assessee either to meet his personal expenses or at the place where the duties of the office or employment or profits are ordinarily performed by him or at the place where he ordinarily resides or to compensate him for the increased cost of living. The value of any benefits or perquisites, whether convertible into money or not, obtained from the company either by a director or by a person who has a substantial interest in the company. But that means the value benefits derived on whether convertible into money or obtained by the from a company directly by the director or any other person who has a substantial interest in the company, the director or the person who is substantially having an interest in the company, and that person receive benefit will also be included in the definition of income. The value of any benefit or perquisite, whether convertible into money or not, obtained by any representative assessee mentioned in clause 3 or clause 4 of subsection 1 of section 160. Any sum chargeable to income tax under clauses 3 and second under clause 2 and clause 3 of section 28 or section 41 or section 59 of Income Tax Act 1961. These are the charging sections under different heads of income under Income Tax Act 1961. Any capital gain chargeable to tax under section 45. The profits and gains of any business or insurance carried out by a mutual insurance company or by a cooperative society computed in accordance with section 44 or any surplus taken to be such profits and gains by virtue of provisions contained in the first schedule. Income includes the profit and gains of any business or banking, including the providing credit facilities to the members or by a cooperative society within its members. Any winnings from lottery, crossword puzzles, lotteries, crossword puzzle race, including horse races, and games, card games, and other games of any sort, or from gambling or betting of any form of nature whatsoever. That is the income from winning lotteries, crossword puzzles, races, horse races, card games, and any other sort of game of gambling or betting. Any sum received by an assessee from his employee as a contribution to any provident fund or superannuation fund or any fund set up under the provisions of Employee State Insurance Act 1948 or any other fund or for the welfare of such employees, any sum received under a Keyman insurance policy, including the sum allocated by way of bonus on such policy. Assistance in the form of a income includes the assistance in the form of a subsidy received or a grant or a cash incentive or a duty drawback or a waiver of concession or remuneration by whatever name called by the central government or a state government or any authority or body or agency in cash or in kind to the assessee, but this other than the subsidy or grant or reimbursement which is taken into account for determination of actual cost of the asset in accordance with the provisions of explanation 10 to clause 1 of section 43, and any subsidy received by or for the corpus of a trust or an institution which is formed by the central government or state governments. Thus, definition of